Hey y'all! So here I am in like the little recording studio with the homeschool band behind me because sometimes it's fun to just make videos elsewhere. So we have over the last few days graphed sine waves which go up and down and up. We've graphed cosine waves which start high, bottom out, and then come back up. The waves like do the same, they just go up and down and up and down, and they look the same, just they're like shifted over from each other. And today we're going to look at tangents. So what we're going to do, we're going to kind of break down this unit circle over here, all right? And do you see this is like the 45 degree or the pi over 4's x? So I just kind of want to go through and remember what is happening on those things. So if I'm looking at ordered pairs, so this is at 0 or at 2 pi, but the ordered pair is 1, 0. Okay, so we're working radians is the angle that's opening up, and then the tangent, the sine, so the sine is the y values, the cosine is the x values. So the tangent is rise over run, y's over x. So this tangent is a slope. Okay, so that said, we're gonna put in all of these points and then figure out what is the rise over run, what's the slope of that part of the circle. Okay, so this one up here, this is pi over 2, and that's at 0, 1. This one over here, the radian value is pi, and then your xy, not 1, 0, but negative 1, 0. Down here, this is 3 pi over 2, and that ordered pair is 0, negative 1. Okay, now let's think about those perfect pi over 4's. Those are always square root 2 over 2 and square root 2 over 2. Now, sine, like the sine SIGN changes, but it's square root 2 over 2, square root 2 over 2 always, and then maybe there's a negative in front of it, right? Okay, so we're going to go through and find the slope or the tangent, which is the y over the x value of all these things. I'll do that in red. Okay, so at 0 or 2 pi, your tangent is the y over the x. So here, 0 over 1 is 0. Okay, but then let's look at this. This is a pi over 4. At pi over 4, the tangent is square root of 2 over 2 over square root of 2 over 2. So think about that for a second. Over square root 2 over 2. Do you see how that simplifies to 1? Because these simplify each other, these simplify, like it all simplifies to 1, which is awesome. Another reason that I love pi over 4's. So the tangent right here is 1. Now the tangent at pi over 2 is 1 over 0 because it's the y over x. Can you divide anything by 0? You cannot. So this right here, 1 over 0, is also undefined. Okay, this is going to be 1 except for the x value is negative, the y value is positive. So it's the square root 2 over 2. It's still this right here. But one of them was negative over here. So this is going to be negative 1. Then at pi, it's back to 0 because you've got 0 over negative 1, still 0. Okay, this one is a square root 2 over 2, square root 2 over 2, so it's 1, but is it positive 1 or negative 1? Positive because it's negative, negative. Okay, then what happens here? This gives you negative 1 over 0. Can you divide by 0? You cannot, so it's undefined. And then this one right here is a 1 again, but it's down 1, right 1, so that's going to be negative. So do you see everything is either 0, 1, negative 1, or undefined? The undefined is what is the most important thing here, because what happens in a graph when you have an undefined? You grab your highlighter and you make an asymptote. So it's undefined at pi over 2. So I put in an asymptote. It's undefined at 3 pi over 2. I put in another asymptote. If I went backwards, whoop, this is also negative pi over 2. Another asymptote. So there's asymptotes at the odd pi over 2's. Do you see that? So you just keep like every odd pi over 2, there's an asymptote. Which means the period, well, let's not go there. Okay, so now how do I graph the things? Well, let's make a big dots. Okay, so let's start at 0. At 0, right here, the tangent is 0. At pi over 4, it's 1. At negative pi over 4, here, it's negative 1. Okay, then pi over 2, there's an asymptote. Then at this right here is 3 pi over 4. It's negative 1. At pi, it's 0. At, let's see, that's 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3, 4 pi over 2, 5 pi over 2. No, 5 pi over 4. Those are pi over 4s. It's right here. Okay, do you see like this little, there's a little pattern? Okay, but how do I graph that thing? Well, do you see how there's asymptotes right there? So the graph looks like this. It gets closer and closer. It approaches the asymptotes. So it looks like that. And look at, it's the same every time. Okay, so amplitude is how high does it go? Well, this goes forever to infinity up and forever to infinity down. So the amplitude is not applicable because it doesn't oscillate. It just goes whoop. The period from negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2. How far did it go? It went pi. Do you see that? Because if I go half this way, that's a whole. So the period is pi. That is different than the others. So there is your basic tangent mother function.